In a world increasingly dominated by narratives spun from the threads of doubt and skepticism,
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff,
Tonight,
please.
I can report to the American people.
Okay, here we go, a big one.
3, 2, 1.
the space is fake conspiracy theory stands as a particularly audacious claim. It's a notion that boldly challenges not just scientific consensus, but the very fabric of our perceived reality, suggesting that the vast expanse above us, the cosmos itself, is nothing more than an elaborate fabrication. This theory, often bubbling up from the more fervent corners of online discourse, posits that space exploration is a grand deception, a meticulously crafted illusion designed to manipulate and control global populations. Originating from a deep-seated distrust in governmental and scientific institutions, the space is fake theory often intertwines with, and sometimes even diverges from the well-known flat Earth theory, showcasing a spectrum of skepticism even within conspiratorial communities. At its core, the theory argues that what we understand as outer space is merely a stage production, a spectacle designed to maintain a false narrative. Proponents suggest that the sky above is not the gateway to an endless universe, but rather a solid dome, a firmament, as described in ancient texts, beyond which no human has ever ventured. Every image, every video, every piece of data purportedly from space is dismissed as either computer-generated imagery or footage meticulously filmed in terrestrial studios. The iconic images of astronauts on the moon, for instance, are not celebrated as triumphs of human ingenuity, but rather derided as elaborate hoaxes, cinematic trickery perpetrated on a global scale. Expanding this line of reasoning, the existence of satellites, cornerstones of modern communication and technology, is also denied. Instead, believers propose that all telecommunications are facilitated by a network of underwater cables and ground-based transmission towers, cleverly disguised to maintain the illusion of orbiting satellites. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration becomes a central figure in this grand scheme, cast not as a pioneering scientific agency, but as the chief architect of this cosmic deception. According to the space's fake narrative, NASA is not exploring the cosmos but actively concealing the truth about our enclosed terrestrial existence. The agency's purported motive is multifaceted, ranging from simple manipulation to being a cog in a larger machine aimed at global control. Followers of this theory often assert that NASA lacks the technological prowess to achieve space travel, particularly manned missions, and that the agency perpetuates the space myth to maintain its relevance and funding. Images of distant planets, galaxies, and nebulae, breathtaking in their scope and beauty, are not seen as genuine astronomical observations but as carefully constructed fabrications designed to uphold the illusion of a vast, explorable universe. This perspective naturally finds common ground with flat Earth beliefs. If space is a fabrication, then Earth cannot be a sphere hurtling through the void. Instead, it must be a flat plane, capped by the aforementioned firmament, with celestial bodies reduced to mere optical effects or projections within this enclosed system. The sun, moon, and stars are not distant objects in a cosmic expanse, but rather localized phenomena within Earth's atmospheric dome, their movements and appearances carefully orchestrated to maintain the deception. Delving deeper into the conspiratorial rabbit hole, the space's fake theory often links itself to broader narratives of global governance and control. The creation of the space myth is seen as instrumental in a clandestine plan to establish a single, unified world government. References are often made to historical figures and events, such as President Ronald Reagan's speech at the United Nations, where he speculated on how an alien invasion might unite humanity. Conspiracy theorists interpret such statements not as benign observations, but as veiled admissions of a pre-existing plan to stage a fake alien invasion, a cosmic false flag operation designed to manufacture a global crisis and thereby justify the imposition of a single, overarching government. The ultimate goal in this view is to fabricate an external threat from space, compelling all nations to relinquish their sovereignty and coalesce under a singular global authority, ostensibly for the common defense of humanity against this manufactured cosmic enemy. To support these extraordinary claims, proponents of the space's fake theory marshal a range of purported evidence, often focusing on visual anomalies and perceived inconsistencies in official accounts. Images and videos released by space agencies, particularly NASA, are scrutinized for any hint of artifice. The use of CGI and studio filming techniques is frequently alleged, with comparisons drawn to Hollywood productions. For example, the film First Man, A biographical account of Neil Armstrong's journey to the moon is sometimes cited as proof that if filmmakers can convincingly recreate lunar scenes, then NASA could have easily done so to fake the entire moon landing. The behavior of astronauts upon their return to Earth is also subject to conspiratorial interpretation. Instances of astronauts experiencing depression or withdrawing from public life are not seen as normal post-mission adjustments, but rather as signs of deep psychological distress stemming from the burden of maintaining a colossal lie. Neil Armstrong's enigmatic 1994 statement about layers of truth protection is often quoted as cryptic confirmation that he was alluding to a NASA cover-up, a hidden truth about the fake moon landings and, by extension, the falsity of space itself. Technological skepticism forms another pillar of the space is fake argument. Doubts are cast on the technological capabilities of the 1960s, with theorists questioning whether the technology of that era was truly advanced enough to safely send humans to the moon and return them. The fact that NASA has not returned to the moon since 1972, despite purported advancements in technology, is presented as further evidence of the original landings being a hoax. This line of reasoning suggests that if the technology were genuinely available, and if space travel were indeed real, then lunar missions would have continued to become more frequent, not ceased. However, these conspiratorial claims are met with robust scientific rebuttals and real-world evidence. NASA and the broader scientific community have consistently addressed and debunked the arguments put forth by space is fake theorists. For instance, the assertion that moon landing photos are fake due to lighting anomalies has been directly tested and refuted. NVIDIA, a technology company, used its VXGI light simulation technology to analyze the Apollo 11 photographs, demonstrating that the peculiar lighting effects observed are entirely consistent with light reflecting off the lunar surface, thereby providing a scientific explanation for what conspiracy theorists misinterpret as evidence of fakery. Similarly, the absence of stars in lunar photographs, often cited as proof of staging, is explained by basic photographic principles. The cameras used in lunar missions were set to exposure levels optimized for the bright lunar surface, making fainter objects like stars invisible, a common effect in photography when capturing brightly lit scenes against a dark background. Astronauts themselves have directly refuted the space is fake theory. Former astronaut Ron Guerin, among others, has unequivocally dismissed the conspiracy, affirming the reality of his experiences in space. Guerin speaks passionately about the overview effect, a profound cognitive shift experienced by astronauts when viewing Earth from space, emphasizing the genuine and transformative nature of spaceflight and the profound sense of interconnectedness it instills. The roots of the moon landing hoax theories. A precursor to the broader space is fake movement can be traced back to Bill Kaysing's self-published book We Never Went to the Moon, released in 1976. Kaysing, a former employee of a Rocketdyne contractor, though not directly involved in the Apollo program, laid the groundwork for many of the arguments that continue to circulate today. However, Kaysing's claims and subsequent elaborations by others have been repeatedly and systematically debunked by scientific evidence, historical records, and the wealth of data and imagery returned by modern space missions, which independently verify the findings of earlier space exploration efforts. In conclusion, the space is fake conspiracy theory, while captivating to some due to its sheer audacity and the questions it raises about trust and authority, ultimately lacks any credible evidence. It thrives on misinterpretations, selective readings of data, and a fundamental distrust of established institutions. While such theories can spark intriguing debates and encourage critical thinking, it's crucial to distinguish between healthy skepticism and unfounded conspiracism. The space is fake theory, in its extreme denial of space exploration and the cosmos, stands as a potent example of how skepticism, when untethered from evidence and reason, can lead to the construction of elaborate, yet ultimately baseless, alternative realities. Is there a grand conspiracy concealing the truth about space? Or is this merely a product of extreme skepticism and a vivid, if misdirected, imagination? The answer, viewed through the lens of evidence and reason analysis, becomes strikingly clear. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support Scary Phil. See you in the next conspiracy theory.